The Crimean bridge works at 50% capacity. We have many different theories now what might have happened there. Let's dive straight into the one that I believe the most. Knock 'em out cold. First, let's look at the structure itself. The road section consists of simply supported pre-stressed girders supported by concrete piers. Unlike the box girders of the Antonovsky Bridge, these girders aren't interconnected. Loads aren't transmitted from span to span. I'm no engineer, but I think what he's saying is it's element bridge. It's built with elements and these elements are not connected, meaning it's quite easy to knock out cold one or two elements of the bridge. This highlights a key structural weakness. Once a girder is dislodged from the supports, adjacent girders follow, leaving the clean break at the pier. I think this is what he's talking about here. This is the clean break and this is the element. An attack from above with energy dispersed by the road deck and piers absorbing compression would be insufficient. He's now saying that it probably wasn't a car bomb, a missile or a drone because those come from above and the explosion would have been insufficient to do such damage. An explosion from below, however, with the road deck absorbing the blast wave would be sufficient to dislodge these connections. I believe this is what happened. If so, a brilliant strategic decisions combining military and engineering expertise. Russia is claiming that the explosion was caused by a lorry explosion. Again, I believe the blast from a truck would be dissipated by the road deck, resulting in a localized damage. Look at how many HIMARS attacks it took to disable the Antonovsky Bridge. What he's saying is that probably the bomb was mounted below the deck of the bridge. The explosion came from down, exploded up, knocking out cold two elements of the bridge. The explosion from a car bomb would dissipate into the air and wouldn't do such damage. Russia says it's a car bomb. Ukrainian intelligence services hint that it might have been, foil hat now, that it might have been a feud between FSB and the Russian army. They are known to have this huge feud between them. The army cannot work if FSB is breathing in their back with the Tsar's orders all the time. I don't know. I'm no engineer. I'm no bomb expert. I will let you to do the deciding. Let me know what you think in the comments. My friends, today we have a sponsor. I'm not an Estonian soldier anymore, or an Estonian YouTuber. I am now a Lord of Scotland, and these are my lands. Established Titles is a project based on a historic Scottish custom, where landowners, such as myself, are referred to as lairds, or lords and ladies in English. They allow people to buy as little as 1 square foot of dedicated land on a private estate in Edelston, Scotland, and an official certificate with a crest, so that you can call yourself a lord or a lady. Bow before me, peasant. Off with your head. I'm supposed to be a nice lord. Off with your head. Your certificate features a unique plot number with which you can see the exact location of your land. It makes a great last-minute gift. They even have couple packs that come with adjoining plots of land. You could officially change your name to Lord or Lady and get it on your credit card, plane tickets, etc. if your country allows it. You can even get it on your dating profiles. I mean, have you seen some lords up in Tinder? You're gonna be the first. Established Titles is committed to planting a tree with every order. It is a fun, novel way to help preserve the picturesque woodlands and biodiversity of Scotland while supporting global afforestation efforts. Established Titles is actually running a massive sale right now. Plus, if you use the code Estonian69, yeah, I'm not kidding you, the code is Estonian69, you get an additional 10% off. Established Titles told me that the first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my link will effectively be next to my plot, within a few minutes of walking. Depending on how many of you want to become a lord or a lady, we can build our own little kingdom. Go to establishedtitles.com/Estonian69 to get your gifts now and help support the channel. Only 3 months ago, Russian propaganda claimed that the Crimean bridge was impossible to attack because it was protected by 20 different modes of protection, including dolphins. Military dolphins. Yes, you heard right. I googled it, this is the result. During the Cold War, the Soviet Union maintained a military dolphin training facility in Sevastopol. Sevastopol is now in annexed Crimea. The facility fell into Ukrainian hands when the USSR dissolved and eventually became a dolphin-centric amusement park. After Russia annexed Crimea and Sevastopol, they probably poured billions of USD back into training these dolphins to be their secret weapon and to protect their precious bridge. This is what I think. Foil hat. At the time that the dolphins were in the Ukrainian hands, they were trained to be double agents working for the Ukrainians, and the dolphins were the ones who blew up the bridge. It was the dolphins! If you think I'm joking here, then Russia actually claimed that dolphins were one of the means of protection. The official Russian defense statement. Maybe that's why it blew up. They relied too heavily on the dolphins. Russian repair crews have sent the first train across a damaged section of the railway bridge. We have this video of it, but I know that the Kerch bridge had 2 railway lines, and I'm pretty sure one of them is damaged. Like, they still have to repair it. So one of the lines works, and I think that's what they used here. So the bridge is at 50% capacity because out of 4 car lanes, 2 work, and out of 2 railway lanes, 1 work. So yes, the bridge works at 50% capacity. The explosion triggered a buying panic in Crimea. There are huge lines in the grocery stores buying toilet paper, food, oil, everything. And there are huge traffic jams in gas stations. Everybody wants to get gas because they're afraid it's gonna run out. As much as I know, Crimea has about 2 weeks worth of supplies in the warehouses and plenty of gas as of now, so they're not facing any shortages yet. But the people don't know that. Putin ordered the FSB now to protect the Crimean bridge. But I mean, if the dolphins couldn't do it, the FSB cannot do it. But they actually had a security gate before the explosion. They had a security gate that trucks were supposed to go through. Not all the trucks, only trucks that looked suspicious or felt suspicious. So they couldn't control all of the vehicles because that would render the bridge pointless, because it would result in huge traffic jams in the security checkpoint. So they secured the bridge and the vehicles by only guiding suspicious vehicles through the security gate, which had this technology of detecting explosives if you drive through it. But I mean, it's made in Russia. It doesn't work. A Russian general, Sergei Surovikin, has been appointed as the leader of the entire Russian army group in Ukraine. Basically, the leader of the entire invasion. Russia has not had one leader of this invasion before. This is the first time. He led Russian forces in Syria, and he is known for his cruelty and unconventional measures. He is also known to the Western powers already and to the Russian powers to be very corrupt, having had legal issues in Russia for smuggling army gear to be sold. In 1995, he was convicted of arms trafficking and federally punished. And now he leads the entire Russian invasion of Ukraine. I mean, he's a butcher. He's the Hound from Game of Thrones sent to do the dirty work. Hell, he even looks like it. But it don't matter how big, cruel or cunning you are, a bullet or a shrapnel doesn't discriminate. Knock him out cold, Ukraine. We were all waiting for the response of the Russian propaganda TV show after the explosion, and it's juicy. It's time to cry, wolf, says the Russian host. He admits to the Russian public that Russian media made a grave mistake laughing at the Ukrainians, expecting an easy victory over the helpless Ukraine, while the West would look the other way. Russian public, of course, is very angry at the attack at the bridge, and they, in louder voices now, demand a harsher response to the Ukrainians, which is why I believe it wasn't the Ukrainians behind the attack, because they know it would unify Russian public against Ukraine. They wouldn't want to do it. It might have even been a false flag operation to unify the Russian public. Putin really shot himself in the foot with mobilization. He needs the people back on his side. If this was a false flag operation, it would do the trick. People are demanding blood. As retaliation for the destruction of the bridge, Putin ordered a missile attack against Zaporozhye, a civilian Panelka. Panelka is this huge paneled housing complex. There are no military objects there. My heart goes out to all the people who lost somebody today. This will not be forgotten. Let's talk a little bit about Ukrainian economy. We haven't talked about this at all, but it is vitally important. This is Reuters article, I will read it to you and comment it. Ukraine economy shrank by 30% in first 3 quarters of 2022. Bad weather in September that slowed the pace of harvesting also played a role, as did interruptions in supply from Zaporozhye nuclear power plant. Exports in September jumped by 23% from August to their highest level since the war started in February, helped by an internationally brokered deal allowing the shipment of grain from the Black Sea ports. Ukraine's biggest export is grain. It's the bread basket of Europe. Hitler knew it and they knew it in the First World War. In the past history, everybody wants to get their hands on Ukrainian rich soil. Ukraine sells its grain, and the money it gets from it, it uses to pay the wages of the soldiers. My friend, something incredible has happened. The channel is monetized again, and as much as I know, I think it's because of you. You, who you are watching, you're much more powerful than you think you are. I contacted them via the Google support. I mean, me as a YouTuber, it doesn't matter I have 500,000 subscribers. I have no personal contacts in YouTube. I still have to go through, like everybody else, through the support system. And they said, like, yeah, we'll look into it. But I know a lot of you bombed them. Hashtag YouTube, and on Twitter you attacked them a lot. And today I wake up, everything is restored. And YouTube had this message that thank you for letting us know there's a lot of you, we're fixing the problem, we fixed it. My friends, you have the power. The power of the people. You're much more powerful than you think you are. Don't forget that. Thank you for what you have given back to me. It was you. Thank you for being there. Thank you for saving my channel. I think Denis got it back. I think all of the other Ukrainian military bloggers got it back. I hope, at least. You've done something incredible. Until my next video, Slava Ukraini.